Harvard astrophysicist's shocking analysis: is 3I/Atlas an alien probe? Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb has just published a comprehensive analysis of the interstellar object 3I/Atlas that's leaving the scientific community in shock. Loeb has classified 3I/Atlas with a score of 4 on the Loeb scale, where 0 means definitely natural and 10 means definitely alien technology. This is the highest score ever given to any celestial object in history. The reason for this score is disturbing. 3I/Atlas exhibits 8 statistically impossible anomalies. When you multiply all the probabilities of these anomalies occurring naturally, the result is less than 1 chance in 10 quadrillion. To put this in perspective, you have a better chance of winning the lottery 20 times in a row than all these anomalies occurring by chance in a natural object. On October 29, 2025, at 7:47 a.m., 3I/Atlas reached its perihelion, the closest point to the Sun. And at this exact moment, it's completely hidden from our Earth-based telescopes. Let's analyze each of these 8 impossible anomalies and understand why this could forever change our understanding of our place in the universe. Before the anomalies, let's establish the basics. 3I/Atlas is the third known interstellar object and has rapidly become the most enigmatic on the list. With an estimated minimum diameter of 3 miles, Atlas is 1 million times more massive than Oumuamua and 1,000 times larger than 2I/Borisov. To put this in perspective, our largest rocket, the Starship, is 100 times smaller than this mysterious object. And this massive size is part of the problem. Objects of this size shouldn't be traveling so fast through interstellar space, but Atlas is. And this is just the first of many impossibilities. The object is aligned to just 5 degrees from the ecliptic plane of the planets. The probability of this happening naturally is only 0.2%. The ecliptic plane is where all the planets in our solar system orbit. It's like a flat disk around the Sun. But objects coming from deep interstellar space shouldn't know anything about this specific orientation. They should come from any random direction. The probability of a random interstellar object being so perfectly aligned with the plane of the planets is only 1 in 500. It's as if the object was deliberately directed to follow the rules of our solar system. For a natural object coming from a random star light years away, this perfect alignment is extremely unlikely, almost impossible. During July and August 2025, Atlas exhibited a jet directed toward the Sun. This behavior has never been observed in natural comets. Comets always develop tails that point away from the Sun due to solar radiation pressure. This is a fundamental physical law. Sunlight pushes dust and gas particles away, creating that characteristic tail that always points in the opposite direction from the Sun, always, without exceptions. All the thousands of comets we've ever observed follow this rule. Atlas did the opposite. It created a jet directed straight toward the Sun, defying established cometary physics. For a natural object, this isn't possible. Solar radiation pressure simply doesn't allow material to move toward the Sun. This behavior suggests some kind of active propulsion or internal mechanism. It suggests something actively pushing material toward the Sun. In other words, it suggests an engine. The third anomaly is the extraordinary combination of mass and velocity. The probability of this combination occurring naturally is less than 0.1%. Larger objects in interstellar space normally move slower due to gravitational dynamics. When a giant planet ejects an object from a stellar system, small objects gain more velocity. Large objects gain less velocity. Atlas breaks this rule. It's simultaneously much more massive and much faster than its predecessors. Oumuamua was small and fast, which makes sense. But Atlas is enormous and extremely fast. It's like seeing a bowling ball flying through the air faster than a bullet. It simply doesn't happen without something actively pushing it. The fourth anomaly is the perfect timing to pass near Mars, Venus, and Jupiter while remaining invisible from Earth at perihelion. The probability of this happening naturally is only 0.05%, 1 chance in 20,000. The temporal precision of this sequence of planetary approaches is mathematically almost impossible for a natural object. Atlas passed near Mars in October, will pass near Venus in November, and will pass near Jupiter in March. And during the most critical moment, perihelion, it's perfectly hidden from Earth. Moreover, being hidden from Earth during the critical moment seems too convenient to be coincidence. It's as if the object planned a route that maximizes planetary exploration while minimizing terrestrial detection. If you were an alien civilization sending a probe to explore an unknown solar system, you would design exactly this trajectory. The gas plume contains much more nickel than iron, similar to artificially produced industrial alloys. The probability of this occurring naturally is less than 1%. In nature, nickel and iron always appear together in predictable proportions. Metallic asteroids have both. Meteorites have both. Earth's crust has both. It's a universal chemical signature of nature. But in Atlas, we see a lot of nickel and almost no iron. This inverted proportion is something we do in factories on Earth. It's part of industrial processes to produce specialized pure nickel alloys. Moreover, the ratio between nickel and cyanide is orders of magnitude greater than any known comet. The composition suggests processed or refined materials, not the random mixture expected from natural objects. It's like analyzing a rock and discovering it contains stainless steel. Stainless steel doesn't occur naturally, it's manufactured. Atlas contains only 4% water by mass, contrasting dramatically with typical comets that are primarily ice. Comets are fundamentally dirty snowballs composed of 80 to 90% water ice. This is the basic definition of a comet. Atlas defies this basic definition, being almost completely devoid of the most fundamental component of comets. It's like calling something an ocean when it contains only 4% water. It simply doesn't make sense. This dry composition is more consistent with metallic asteroids or artificial objects than natural comets. The answer may be disturbing. Maybe it's neither a comet nor an asteroid. Maybe it's something we've never seen before because it was made, not formed. Atlas showed extreme negative polarization, unprecedented in all known comets, including 2I/Borisov. When sunlight reflects off the surface of an object, it becomes polarized in specific ways. This polarization reveals fundamental surface properties. It's like an optical fingerprint. All natural comets have a specific type of polarization signature. Atlas doesn't fit. No natural comet has ever exhibited this specific type of optical signature. This unique characteristic suggests a surface or structure completely different from any known cometary material. It's not rock, not ice, not dust. It's something completely different. When you have an optical signature that doesn't match any known natural material, you have to start considering non-natural materials, fabricated materials. The eighth anomaly is the most chilling. Atlas arrived from the direction of the famous WOW signal with 9-degree precision. The probability of this coincidence is 0.6%. The WOW signal was detected in 1977 by the Big Ear radio telescope. It was an extremely strong radio signal that lasted 72 seconds. The signal was so intense that astronomer Jerry Emmon wrote "wow" in the margin of the data printout. The WOW signal remains the most mysterious and potentially artificial radio transmission ever detected. It came from the constellation Sagittarius and was never detected again, despite decades of searches. And now, 48 years later, a massive and anomalous interstellar object arrives from the same direction with 9-degree precision. Was the WOW signal a transmission from an alien civilization? And is Atlas a probe from that same civilization? The timing is disturbing. If a civilization tens of light years away sent a probe centuries ago, it would arrive now. And if they also sent a radio transmission, it would have arrived in 1977. Each individual anomaly has a small probability of occurring naturally. But when you multiply all these small probabilities together, you get the probability of all of them happening simultaneously by chance. And that number is shocking. The cumulative chance of all these anomalies occurring naturally is less than 1 in 10 quadrillion. A quadrillion is 1 million billion. It's the number 1 followed by 15 zeros. And the chance is less than 1 in 10 quadrillion. This number is so small that it defies any explanation based on coincidence. It's statistically impossible. To put this in perspective, you have a better chance of being struck by lightning, winning the lottery, and being attacked by a shark on the same day than all these anomalies occurring by chance. On October 29, 2025, at 7:47 a.m., Atlas reached its perihelion. This is the most critical moment of its entire passage through the solar system. It's when it's closest to the Sun, being heated by 770 watts per square meter. This situation creates a unique scientific tension. Precisely at the most critical moment, when it's being intensely heated, we can't observe it. If Atlas is a natural comet, this intense heating may be fragmenting it right now. We could be missing the dramatic disintegration of an interstellar visitor. But if Atlas is artificial technology, this could be the moment when it makes a maneuver. This would be the perfect moment to use the slingshot effect to gain extra momentum and change trajectory. And we can't see it. We're completely blind during the most important moment. When Atlas reappears on the other side of the Sun in the coming weeks, we'll know if something changed. If the trajectory changed. If it made a maneuver. Loeb mentioned a fascinating opportunity we missed. If Earth were on the opposite side of its orbit, we could have mapped Atlas with radar systems. In that hypothetical position, the object would have passed just 33.5 million miles from Earth. That distance would allow radar systems to detect and image the object. We could see the exact shape. We could detect structures on the surface. We could definitively distinguish between an irregular rock and something with artificial geometry. Unfortunately, even at Earth's closest approach on December 19, 2025, the distance of 167 million miles makes radar detection unfeasible. So we missed our best chance to obtain definitive evidence about the nature of Atlas. Despite the limitations, monitoring continues. Radio observers around the world have been mobilized for continuous monitoring. Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna is actively helping to get high-resolution images from October 2, 2025, released to the scientific community. Scientists are looking for specific signals. Deliberate maneuvers that would indicate active propulsion. Release of mini-probes. Radio transmissions. Artificial lights. Excess heat from possible engines. Any of these signals would be revolutionary. If Atlas performs maneuvers, releases mini-probes, or transmits radio signals, we'll know it's of technological origin. Maneuvers would be direct evidence. If the object changes trajectory in ways that can't be explained by gravity alone, that would be definitive proof of artificial propulsion. Mini-probes would be even more dramatic. Imagine if Atlas is a mothership and begins releasing smaller probes. It would be like watching an alien fleet unfold before our eyes. Radio transmissions would be unequivocal evidence. Narrowband radio signals don't occur naturally in space. But what if it's natural? If Atlas is a natural comet, the intense heating at perihelion could fragment it, creating cosmic fireworks with a much brighter plume of gas and dust. Loeb emphasizes the gravity of the situation. We must collect as much data as possible to discover the nature of this anomalous object. The implication of alien technology would be enormous, and therefore we must take this possibility seriously. If Atlas is confirmed as extraterrestrial technology, it would be the most important discovery in human history. It would prove we're not alone in the universe. It would prove other civilizations exist. It would prove interstellar travel is possible. The philosophical, scientific, religious, political, and cultural implications would be impossible to predict completely. Every aspect of human civilization would be transformed. And if Atlas is technological, its creators command capabilities that go far beyond our current technologies. Think about what would be necessary to build something 3 miles in diameter and send it on an interstellar journey. These are capabilities of a civilization thousands or millions of years ahead of us. Loeb developed a scale to evaluate the probability of objects being alien technology. It goes from 0 to 10. 0 means definitely natural. 10 means definitely technological. Oumuamua received a score of about 2. It had some strange anomalies, but not enough for definitive conclusions. 2I/Borisov received a score close to 0. It was clearly a natural comet. Atlas received a score of 4. This is the highest score ever given to any celestial object. A score of 4 means there's substantial evidence of non-natural characteristics, but not yet conclusive enough for definitive statement. It means the possibility of technological origin must be taken very seriously. The next few weeks will be absolutely crucial for our understanding of Atlas. When the object reappears on the other side of the Sun in mid-November, all eyes will be turned to the sky. Multiple observatories will be tracking every movement. If there's any change in trajectory that can't be explained by gravity, we'll know. If there are signs of propulsion, we'll know. If there are transmissions, we'll know. The James Webb is scheduled to make detailed observations in December. Hubble will continue its monitoring in November. Radio observatories around the world will be listening. This is perhaps the most intensive observation campaign ever directed at a single object in deep space. Folks, we're living in an extraordinary time. The interstellar object 3I/Atlas exhibits 8 statistically impossible anomalies that defy any simple natural explanation. The probability of all these anomalies occurring simultaneously by chance is less than 1 in 10 quadrillion. This number is essentially zero. Loeb gave Atlas a score of 4 out of 10 on the scale of probability of technological origin. This is the highest score ever given to any celestial object. At the most critical moment of Atlas's passage, it's hidden behind the sun. We don't know what's happening with it right now. In the coming weeks, when the object reappears, we'll have our answers. We'll see if the trajectory changed. We'll see if it released probes. We'll see if there are signs of technology. The implication of alien technology would be monumental. It would change everything we thought we knew about our place in the universe. It would prove we're not alone. But even if Atlas is natural, the science behind these discoveries is fascinating. We're learning about the limits of what's naturally possible. The truth is out there, and in the coming weeks it may finally be revealed. We'll continue following every development, every new observation, every piece of data that emerges, because this may be the most important story we've ever told. Stay alert, keep your eyes on the sky, and prepare for the possibility that everything is about to change.